So here are the three images. This is the original one, right? What I do to get there? Well, go into this develop module. You can see I pulled the exposure way down, almost 3 stops underexposed. Actually boosted up the contrast, highlights, and brought up shadows so you can see a little bit of what's going on in the grass. Took out the vibrance because I didn't want this to be saturated, and then again messed with the blue so that the sky tones would come down really nice and dark. So once I had that much done, I took this over into Photoshop and just started off by actually creating a mask. So if you see this, it's pretty rough along the bottom because I wasn't really concerned about that, but I paid attention to the upper edges of this Jeep, because with this original image I wanted to really darken down this distance background to make it look more like it was nighttime. So this layer is literally just a multiply layer. You picked a dark blue in here and painted in there to create that shading effect. Okay, so it gives it a deep shadow, and then from there it's all about just adding in light layers. So a quick little highlight in each of the headlights, added in a little more flare around the main headlights, and then started dropping in lighting on each of those little LED beads in her light bars. And then this is where it got to be really fun, because I wanted the lights from the Jeep to look like it was coming through fog. So what I did was just painted, if I disable the layer mask, so that's just brush strokes that I then blurred out with Gaussian blur. But I added a layer mask that is fog. So the fog then becomes my mask. And I've got it tilted funny because I only was concerned about, you know, covering up the light coming from the Jeep, not over here. So then it's a matter of just duplicating and adding to that effect. And this is a little bit more glow on the light bars. Same thing up there. I was just painting with my paintbrush but using that same mask, and I just duplicated that mask across here. And so you know how to do that. If I delete that mask, if you hold down the Alt or Option key before you click on the mask on another layer, and then just click and drag it up, it will duplicate that mask to that layer. Cool stuff. Okay, then just adding more in, and then this is the same fog layer that I used for the mask, but I've compressed it, shrunk it down, and put it in the bottom of the image here across the ground. So I kind of stretched it out and just made a little bit of fog over the ground. This is the moon. A little bit of haze around the moon, a little bit of glow in the trees and on the grass from the moon, and a little bit of glow from the moon up in the clouds. And that was really it. So that's how I did that.